Братья.
Right.
How many?
Αλεξάνδρα, πού είναι τα χαρτιά? Δεν είναι.
What do you need? What do you need? Paper.
Δεν είναι. Αυτή θα τα πήρε η Βλαμένη. Thank you. There are more people up there.
Yeah. Children up there. One minute to go.
2 minutes. Кто еще? Хомич Сергей Николаевич. Нет? Without. Тут тоже.
No person, no problem.
Αλεξάνδρα, κάνε καμιά φωτογραφία να στείλει στον Μπουλούκο. Στον Μπουλούκο από κοντά.
6 o'clock. We are ready.
He's conducting the business.
Okay. Не успели сесть за стол. Водичку взять. Не успели сесть за стол. Водичку пить. Смазать надо.
Okay, we'll make a start. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to the Ara Paches here in the Eternal City of Rome, and welcome to the press conference for the Flame of Peace lighting ceremony for the second European Games, Minsk 2019. We are very pleased to have you all here with us this evening, and we also welcome all of those that are following via the live channels, the EOC live channels and Minsk 2019 social media. I would like to start by introducing our guests on the stage from the EOC and our guests from Belarus who are here representing Minsk 2019. Firstly, in the center of the table, the European Olympic Committee's president, Mr. Yanis Kocijancic. He is joined on his left by Mr. Spiros Kapralos, the chair of the European Games Coordination Commission. Alongside them, our friends from Belarus, Mr. Sergei Kovalchuk, the Minister of Sport and Tourism, and Mr. George Katulin, the CEO of the Minsk European Games Organizing Committee, or MEGOG, as we often refer to it. For those of you that joined us for the press conference for the EYOF Baku 2019 a couple of weeks back, this press conference will follow a similar format and will begin with some opening words from the EOC President, followed by some words from Mr. Kapralos, and then a short video and some words from Mr. Katulin. There will then be an opportunity for the press in the room to ask questions to our guests. So to begin, I would like to give the floor to the EOC President, Mr. Yanis Kocijancic.
Buonasera, good evening. We are very honored that you followed our invitation and came here. We are today 49 days before the opening ceremony of the European Games in Minsk. We are trying hard to create a multi-sport event which would be second only to the Olympic Games. And at the last stage of preparations, I can tell you that we are satisfied, that we are looking forward, that we will start pretty soon, and that we do not see any major obstacles. We are here and ready to answer your questions.
Thank you very much, President. I would now like to give the floor to Mr. Kapralos.
Well, buonasera. I would like to confirm what our President said. I was in Minsk 2 weeks ago. Everything looks in a perfect condition. The city is ready to host the Games. We visited the Athletes' Village, which is one of the best villages we've seen. It's the university halls that have been renovated, and they will offer great facilities for the athletes, the best athletes of Europe who will compete. The sport venues are also ready. As you know, we have tried not to construct any new venues, but to refurbish existing ones, something that would be also a great legacy for the country, a country of Belarus, which is a country passionate for sport, who loves sport. And finally, I had the opportunity to feel the enthusiasm of the local people, the local volunteers who are ready to offer their services for the success of these Games. So in 49 days from today, we'll see that these Games will be a big success again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kapralos. I would now kindly ask that the video is played. So after that excellent video showcasing the official mascot of Minsk 2019, Leszek, I would kindly like to ask Mr. Katulin to say some words.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for your interest to our games. We start this press conference with a short video in order to show you through our official mascot the character and energy of him, how the people are preparing for the games. Of course, Mr. President said that this is celebration not only for sport, for every field of our society. Every groups of population involved in this process. Believe me, starting from the school boys for whom this mascot became already the lovely toy, the best toy forever, to a lot of people who comes to work for the games as a volunteer. The number of volunteers exceed 8,000 people. Of course, today is really important for us because practically we understand that it's the big part of the games and they start already today. This long journey, more than 7,000 kilometers, will lead us from the capital of European sport, Rome, to the capital of our republic, where people with a great enthusiasm are waiting for the 21st of June, the opening ceremony at our Olympic National Stadium. I would like to invite all of you to visit this exciting event, which promise be the most beautiful and bright sport event of the 2019 year. We are ready to answer your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Katulin. We will now move on to the question and answer session, and we will start with some questions that we received in advance for some press agencies that are unable to join us but are following via the live stream. So the first question comes from the Associated Press and is addressed to the EOC President and is a two-part question. The first part of the question, with only a month and a half to go until the start of the European Games, are there any major issues that need to be addressed? And the second part of the question is, what impact, if any, do you think the European Games will have in opening up Belarus to the world and the world to Belarus?
First, as I already told, we do not see any bigger open questions. Of course, there is a number of smaller items we have to address, and we will resolve the problems in a very efficient way. We are quite confident that our Belarus friends and organizers will do their job in the best possible way. The second question is more political. Of course, we think that Belarus is, with European Games opening up to Europe and to the world, it's the country which deserves it, because it is a country, if it would be an independent country, which suffered the most in the World War II. It's the country with a lot of achievement in these different fields, in culture, in economic development, and especially in sport. And we think that the fact that there will be a large number of people visiting the country, over 1,000 journalists, if I understood it very well, and because there will be a lot of opportunity to see the friendly people in Belarus, their lifestyle, their quality of life, their friendliness. We think that after the Games, the image of Belarus will be essentially better than it is. And we suppose that that will be a very good step to the future, where Belarus will be entirely integrated in the European life.
Thank you, President. The next question is for Minister Kowalczuk. The Minister will answer the question in Russian, and I understand it will be translated into English. The question is, what legacies will the European Games leave for Minsk and Belarus?
Вопрос господину министру. Что оставят Минску в наследие европейские игры?
Самое главное, то, что у нас вся страна готовится к этому мероприятию.
The most principal is that all our country completely is being preparing for this great event.
Каждый населенный пункт, особенно Минск, сегодня в ожидании этого большого праздника.
Every city, town and village, especially the capital Minsk, is now looking forward to this great holiday.
Улучшена транспортная инфраструктура.
The transport infrastructure is being improved.
Дорожная сеть.
The road network.
Спортивные объекты мы не строили, но мы приложили руку для того, чтобы сделать их еще лучше.
All these sport items, of course, are not constructed especially for these events, but we all have paid, all contributed greatly to make them better, to prepare it better to the event.
Учитывая то, что на каждом спортивном объекте по каждому виду спорта будут проводиться соревнования исключительно на новом инвентаре и оборудовании, он полностью закуплен.
Considering that at all the fields, at all the playgrounds of the event, all the competitions will be held at completely new equipment. So, of course, it was bought.
Тот спортивный инвентарь, который был передан в детско-юношеские спортивные школы, в центре подготовки по разным дисциплинам.
The previous equipment which have been used before, it has been passed to the junior schools or sports schools to train the new generations of Belarusian sportsmen.
Это послужит большим шагом в развитии, в первую очередь, детского, мы ожидаем, спорта.
Hence, this contributes also to the training of new Belarusian and recruitment of new Belarusian athletes.
Появились новые объекты туризма в стране в достаточном количестве.
Are being opened new objects of tourism which are welcoming the guests, especially, and they are opened to this very great date.
Промышленного, агротуризма, объектового туризма, спортивного туризма.
Between these, there are different kinds of tourism: agricultural tourism, industrial tourism, of course, natural tourism, and all the spectrum of touristic attractions.
Сделан большой шаг в медицинском обеспечении спортивных именно мероприятий, спортсменов деятельности.
And of course, we made progress in our medicine services for the future games, both in the case of qualification and in the case of the medical equipment.
Появилась новая деревня спортсменов. В этой деревне спортсменов 2 новых спортивных объектов, отреконструирован стадион.
A new sports village has appeared in Belarus, and there are 2 very crucial sport objects which have been reconstructed. Between them is a big stadium.
Приедет большое количество хороших специалистов с Европы, судей, технических делегатов, специалистов в области спорта, с которых мы поделимся опытом, от них получим богатый опыт при проведении организации мероприятий.
We are ready to host a lot of foreign experts in the field of sports, the international sports judges, other technicians, technical experts on sports. We are ready to exchange our experience, to share it with them, and of course to know and to learn new experience in this field from them.
Сегодня практически проведены уже практически по всем видам спорта тестовые соревнования, а по некоторым видам спорта уже и дважды. И мы видим пользу от проведения подобного рода мероприятий.
Practically in all kinds of sports, the test competitions have been held, and we see a great positive efficiency from these competitions to prepare ourselves to the event.
Я могу рассказывать очень много по всем направлениям деятельности, но все вот то, что я говорю, это все останется в стране, самое важное.
I would speak hours about this, about the details of the future event, future holiday. But whenever and whatever I spoke, I would not to skip the principal case.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Now we will open up the floor to questions. So if you have a question, please raise your hand. Please let us know your name, which organization you are representing, and who your question is directed to. So if there are some questions, please.
Good evening. Philip Barker, Inside the Games. This question is for Mr. Kapralos. The games are fast approaching. Are you confident that enough effort has been made in promotion to make sure there are big enough crowds in the stadiums? That's been a problem at many Olympics and other major events, that the stadiums have been empty. How confident are you that that problem will be addressed here?
Thank you very much for your question. To start with, there has been enormous promotion of the games within Belarus itself. And this is the reason why already 8,000 volunteers have signed up to help for these games. Also, Belarus is a country, a very sporting country, with lots of successes in major events. The athletes of Belarus have shown their abilities, and this is creating a lot of interest from the locals. And also, if you visit the city, already a few months before the games, lots of posters were all around the city promoting the games and making everybody understand and know that this major sport, multi-sport event is going to Minsk and Belarus. On the international front, also the Belarusian government has done a lot in order to abolish visas, so foreign visitors can go to Minsk without needing a visa. Also, the organizing committee has decided to keep the prices of tickets at a very low level, so to make it very affordable for everybody. Same is with local hotel prices, so it's a great opportunity for international visitors to visit this beautiful country. And don't forget, at the end of the day, these are main events, big events. The best athletes of Europe will be competing, and for many sports, we'll have direct qualification for the Olympic Games of Tokyo happening next year. I think all these reasons make the Games very attractive for any local or international visitor, and already from the ticket sales, we know that many events will be sold out. Thank you.
Are there some more questions in the room from anybody? Please.
This is a question for Mr. President of the European Olympic Committees. The flame will be taken this week up to the summit of Mont Blanc. I wanted to ask a bit about what your thoughts are on that, how important it is to help promote the relay as something different to the Olympic torch relay, and also, have you been in touch with the team of climbers out in their sort of alpine retreat to wish them good luck, that sort of thing? So if you could say something about how you feel about taking the flame to the top of Mont Blanc, please.
Europe is a continent. We have the highest mountain, and I think it is a splendid idea to climb up the mountain and to include it as an initial part of the journey from Rome to Minsk. It is also a symbolic message that we would like to climb high all together, and especially in the organization of a huge sport event. I am, of course, of the opinion that regardless to the success of Olympic Games, we shouldn't copy that concept. We should develop another concept which will be in accordance with the Olympic idea, but which will bring to the expression the European spirit, and that's our approach.
Thank you. Any more questions from the floor? Please.
Just looking ahead, I know it's difficult. You talk about the Olympic movement, which of course comes in, and we've got two candidates for the Winter Olympics coming up. Just what is the position on the next European Games? We've heard whispers that Katowice and Kazan are looking at bidding for the Games, but where are we at that stage? Have they actually formally tendered interest? Are there any others?
We have open procedure, and it would be unfair to quote the names. One of them is correct, the other one is a little bit changed, but we suppose that we will have before the European Games in Minsk a clear picture, and we will probably have at the beginning of the Games an extraordinary General Assembly of European Olympic Committees, and if there will be more candidates, a secret vote who will get the next organization, the third European Games. I'm very confident that we will have an excellent organizer.
Thank you. Anything else from the floor? No, then if not, thank you very much. That concludes this press conference. We'd like to thank you all for coming, and especially our guests on the top table. We hope you enjoy the ceremony that is about to begin, and we kindly ask you to please make your way out of the auditorium towards the Arapachis altar. Thank you very much.